Good afternoon, everyone. Today's presentation is regarding Team 3's solution on the Agilisys Brief for the final module of Fast Futures. We'll start off with a quick overview of what each member has covered and then dive straight into the presentation. My name is Viraj Jain, and I focused on determining who our customers are and what they want and need. Additionally, I developed our value proposition, and we all contributed towards designing the product.
Hello, my name is Cherie Ezomo. In this task, I mapped out the customer journey across the various channels of advertising. Also, I created draft ads and social media content plans that we could use as marketing materials.
Hi, my name's Florence Lampart. I've been working alongside Gurneet to develop the business plan. I researched the costs of traditional at-home care so that we could work out how much cheaper our solution is.
Hi, my name is Rayit. I also focus on the business plan and the financials. I researched the costs of our alternative solutions and then therefore the cost saves by implementing our solution. Then me and Florence were able to construct and develop our business plan.
So, the problem statement is about how smart tech can promote independent and self-sufficient living amongst vulnerable and elderly people. We started off by clearly defining the problem. As of 2019, research shows that 24% of the total UK population was aged 60 years old or above. People are living longer lives than before, but this is resulting in increasing morbidities and functional limitations in said individuals. Essentially, the world population is increasingly aging, and there's a high demand for their consumption needs, which has created a market known as the longevity economy. Aging in place is not the same as before. It was previously considered normal for a person to age and pass away in their home, surrounded by family members. But due to increased access to communication and connectivity and the burden that arises from these factors, this has become extremely unlikely. Research done by the National End-of-Life Care Intelligence Network and the Office of National Statistics shows that in 2014, around 101,000 people died in a care home out of 239,000 who were aged 60 or above. Research done in the US by Stanford School of Medicine shows that only 80% of elderly individuals died at care institutions, despite 80% stating they would prefer to die at home. The elderly and vulnerable crave the sense of stability, which comes from having a home and a comfortable, familiar environment. Rising strain on healthcare is making it tougher and more costly to arrange home care visits. Furthermore, health and mobility changes are amongst the many barriers to aging in place. However, with more research into smart connected devices and Internet of Things, it is becoming increasingly possible to develop a solution which bypasses these barriers. We started by making sense of the situations to see who our customers are. We firstly made sense of the situation by classifying the jobs they need to be done in three categories: functional jobs, social jobs, and emotional support. The functional jobs entail their personal needs and upkeeping their hygiene, such as washing, dressing, toileting, medication monitoring, and so on. Social jobs ensure their safety and social duties, such as essential cleaning, bill payment, shopping, cooking and preparing meals, and general safety. Emotional support entails being emotionally present for these individuals since they are going through a tough time. Looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the traditional solution of home care visits satisfies all these jobs and the customer's physiological, safety and security, and social needs. The current smart solution, however, only partially solves physiological and safety security needs. The current smart solution does not broadly consider the caregiving and built environment, Research into the Internet of Things shows challenges and limitations with current solutions and provides potential to increase user-centeredness and better integration with broader systems. Essentially, there is a lack of fit between older people's daily lives and their supporting needs with the current technological solutions available. Current solutions have a low rate of adoption by older people, mainly because of poor interface design, issues of privacy and trust, and generally economic and educational barriers. Customers want to avoid paying too much and making an effort to operate technology, along with not having their privacy and trust violated. On the other hand, they want to achieve convenience, security, efficiency, and above all, they value their time and money. After thorough research and applying the JTBD framework, we were able to make an empathy map to further determine the customer's pains and gains. Firstly, we are empathizing with elderly and vulnerable individuals, likely aged 60 years or above. In terms of what they need to do, they require a solution which solves their jobs to be done and their hierarchy of needs. Additionally, as mentioned, they want to achieve convenience, security, efficiency, and savings in time and money. Considering they don't travel much due to their functional impairment and the fact that they are not good with technology, which requires some level of expertise, they have limited exposure to new solutions, and as a result, they may search for online home care products. In terms of what they say, they mostly communicate with friends and family about home care services and requirements. They most likely refer to current solutions as either too costly, time-consuming, unsecure, or effortful. They think of doing two things, either hiring care visits, but this has become a costly option, or hiring multiple home care solutions for increased temporary convenience. In terms of what they hear, they are very well aware of the increased strain on healthcare, especially with the pandemic going on. They are also aware of the cost of living crisis, making a cost-effective solution a priority. They would hear about two main options, either being admitted into a care institution, which is also fairly costly and brings about the issue of isolation, or switching to smart solutions, which friends and family may already be using. This leads us to deciding the customer pains and customer gains. Customer pains include a lower availability and higher cost of traditional care visits, being anxious of isolation if they need to resort to care institutions, being frustrated about educational and economical barriers to implementing smart solutions, being worried about violation of privacy and trust, and finally, the fear of not receiving emotional support and human interaction. Customer gains, on the other hand, include the hope to live independently and self-sufficiently at home, wanting their hierarchy of needs met, wishing to have access to suitable medication on time to not only live longer but more comfortably, and wanting convenience, ease of accessibility, stability, and savings in time and money. The next phase is the experiment phase, where we did a market segmentation. In terms of demographic factors, we are targeting individuals who are 60 years or above in age, are most likely living alone or with a partner instead of family, and who are almost undoubtedly retired, hence they have limited income in the form of savings. In terms of psychographic factors, we are targeting elderly individuals who have a lot of time on their hands and are relatively immobile. As a result, they don't receive a lot of human interaction, despite not having much to do. In terms of behavioral factors, we are targeting individuals with limited online shopping habits, as they are not tech savvy. They seek to purchase a product which provides home care at low cost with convenience, and are likely to heavily use this product should it solve their needs. Further segmentation could be done with data related to the actions these individuals take on online websites that sell these products, but this data isn't publicly available. In terms of geographic factors, there isn't much data on the most popular location for home care visits in the UK, though research from the Office of National Statistics shows that based on the demographics, these individuals tend to live near areas of outstanding natural beauty, which entails national parks, the coast, or rural areas. However, there isn't a big discrepancy between whether they live in rural areas compared to urban areas. Hence, this factor lacks relevance. Now I will pass it on to Cherie to talk about the customer journey.
To effectively meet the needs of all our potential customers, we used the See, Think, Do, Care framework. This framework considers different audiences which we expect to encounter while marketing our product up until eventually achieving a sale and a stable customer basis. This is a highly customer-centric framework, as we essentially had to step into the shoes of different customers to understand their specific consumer decision-making process. The message we hope to pass on during this stage varies. At the C level, we will reach elderly and vulnerable individuals likely aged 60 plus. At the Think level, elderly and vulnerable individuals likely aged 60 plus who are thinking of ways that they can become more independent and self-sufficient at home. At the Do level, elderly and vulnerable individuals likely aged 60 plus who are thinking of ways they can be more independent and self-sufficient at home by buying home care products and smart solutions. And finally, the Care individuals who have utilized services multiple times and are likely to repeat purchase or recommend services to others. Next slide, please. Our key aims at the C level is where we will interact with the customers and show them what our service will do for them. These benefits may include limiting their spending, supporting them with our technology as they live independently, and improving their control over their home without having to physically overexert themselves, as we expect that our demographic will have functional difficulties. At the Think level, customers think they need to buy into our product. As this is the early stage of their intent to buy, they will still be weighing up the pros and cons of their decision. We expect that customers will be considering alternative home care services, which will be less expensive and still just as effective. Moving on to the Do level, these customers have the most intent to buy. We expect that informing them of how our app outperforms other healthcare technology will get them to buy. And finally, at the Care level, we'll be dealing with experienced customers who have already subscribed to our brand. We would want them to maintain their expectations of us so that they can continue to advocate for our services that we provide to them. For social, in relation to our product, we will encourage customers to advocate for our brand and service by presenting them with descriptive posts and informative voiceovers in our ads so that the customers make informed decisions to support our service. This is important in forming customer devotion to our brand identity. As our service relates to their health and well-being, we're not majorly trying to promote irrational customer behavior or consumer behavior. Therefore, our brand personality will reflect this. To increase their intent to buy, we'll have the subject matter experts provide professional input on the effectiveness of our service. This will be elaborated upon later when discussing the sample ads that I created. Building on the commercial intent of the Do stage, we will target these customers with success stories to reaffirm their expectations from us. And at the Care stage, we will allow seasoned customers to interact with us on social media and provide feedback. This is all call to action based, as we want customers who advocate for our brand to feel obliged to interact with us. As for the content channel, this is a vehicle for us to share our product and improve customers' general interest in our service. At the C level, we will emphasize the impact that the service will have on vulnerable and elderly people. On our Facebook and YouTube Shorts, as well as Instagram, we'll refer to how easy it is to understand our technology and how the little alteration will change their quality of life while aging in place. For such reasons, this is hero content, as we're enticing the audience with before and after content. This kind of content keeps people wanting more, and it makes the transformation more clear from when they didn't have our service to when they do. The Think level is our hero content. We will have lookalike audience members conduct a demo of how to use the app to answer questions about how they found navigating it. The main downside with advertising technology to elder audiences is overcoming the fear of the unknown and them having to learn new skills. This content aims to improve their comfortability by recruiting relatable audiences using our service, and hopefully this will increase our demographic will to buy. For the do stage, this is hub content. At this stage, the consumer has commercial intent. Therefore, we'll provide them with regular posts, almost like top tips. This will allow them to keep learning about our technology, and also we'll be feeding them general positive reviews relating to our service. This is so that the learning process that they have, familiarizing themselves with technology, is over a longer period of time so that it's not overwhelming for them. Finally, at the care stage, we really want to hone into the success of our app, so there will be lots of content relating to positive reviews. Also, we will try to convince our customers to try more of our home appliances. Therefore, it would be an opportunity to present our full catalogue of home appliances to them so that they can continue their customer journey with us. For example, we could recommend bundles for our smart tech software, which complement one another if the customer is trying to build up their collection of home appliances. This could make them feel as though they're missing out if they don't get the complete set. There could also be discounts, such as if you buy our smart security service with 3 months of purchasing our scheduling devices, you could get 25% off your purchase. And this is to reward them for buying into our bundle scheme. As for the video and display, at the C level, we want to impart on the audience that getting our app will provide them with control over their environment. We could create a 3-day exclusive trial feature on the app. It could be a scanner feature or a home diagnostic on the app, which allows people to scan their home environment, and we would be able to determine the safety of their house at the present moment. This could open our audience's eyes in terms of how convenient the app is, and also it personalizes its services to their own personal needs. Also, it speeds up the customer's decision-making as they have a short period to use this feature. It also resolves the long wait times that senior home care customers have recently had grievances about, specifically the long wait times for getting in contact with healthcare personnel. But generally, the trial also encourages customers to interact with the brand, which is great at boosting awareness. At the think level, we will again use lookalike audiences and influencers to showing how they've implemented the app into their daily lives. And finally, moving on to the do level, we want to acquire the sell. To achieve this, we will continue to encourage the customers to buy into our service by showing them good reviews. We expect this to silence any doubts that they have. Finally, on the search channel, we made note of terms that we encountered while researching into this topic. They are rather general, but they cover all the important micro moments our customers are expected to face when looking for alternative home care services. For C, this is an I want to know moment, so they will probably explore their options in terms of different kinds of home care services. We also included some technical terms as it ensures that we're covering all areas of the topic and words that might show up while they're researching. For the think level, this is an I want to do moment, as we expect the customer to look into new alternative home care. We included home care technology, NHS recommended home care services, and also reviews of the Agilisys app, because should they find information about our service, it's expected that they would want to see reviews before committing to us. By the do stage of the search channel, customers will have their I want to buy moment. This is where they will probably start searching for tutorials to reassure them about how easy it is to operate the app, and also general tech services and queries. And by the care stage, we'll be building on the content that we previously mentioned in the marketing channel for the care stage, and we'd expect that these customers will be searching other products in our catalog. Could you please move to the next slide? As for the sample ads, in our ads, we wanted to show that Agilisys is a purposeful company. In this sample Facebook ad, we have shown this by mentioning that future planning is something that we deem important and has been aided with the development of technology. I've annotated the important features any Facebook ad should involve. For our demographic, we want to keep it informative, direct, and clear. The ad itself makes use of open space so that the page does not appear cluttered or too busy. In the primary text, we mention the solution to the customer problem, which is overcome your worries of Agilisys. We provide easy-to-use home care technology, giving you back control of your well-being with the touch of a button. Our hashtags would appeal to customers in their see and think stage. And also we have a value proposition, which is that our technology provides 24/7 support, allowing you to reside in the comfort of your home safely and independently. Mainly in this Facebook ad, we take advantage of call to action features, which allows us to acquire customer details and traffic on our website. You can see this with the learn more feature on the actual ad itself, as well as the get offer, which would be on Facebook. In sum, the Facebook post is informative, persuasive, and it also aims to increase both brand awareness and acquisition of customer details. Next slide, please. Finally, with the use of YouTube short ads, these can apply to all the consideration stages, depending on the subject of the clip. Research shows that our demographic, 60 plus, are already established audiences on YouTube. With the recent transition to short form media pioneered by TikTok, we can impart important information in a short period of time. While TikTok is not limited to younger audiences, YouTube Shorts is a more appropriate alternative for keeping their recommended videos more focused. In the clips, we would feature subject matter experts such as senior care assistants, influencers, and also lookalike audiences such as elderly people with functional difficulties. So in terms of senior care assistants, they would impart a unique message which would tailor to the performance of the actual app itself. And so we would do sit down talks with them about the actual technology. And also this is during inspirational oral B, which involves dentist testimonials and recommendations of the services, such as their toothpaste and also the electric toothbrushes. As for the influencers, I chose Jain, and she's a 70-year-old fitness influencer who has a complicated health history of her own. Even though she is more active and her field is more fitness-based, she's tech proficient, and I feel like that would be very motivating for our demographic. It also shows that they can overcome their skepticism towards using technology. And in the ad, she would likely give her own review of how Agilisys has helped her in her own home. And finally, we would have lookalike audiences, and they would be relatable models who would give point of view demonstrations of how to use the app. They would also teach customers about the different appliances and features in a more conversational tone, so it seems like they're learning from a peer. So now I will let Viraj talk you through our value proposition.
In terms of the value proposition, the customers have jobs they need to be done, they have pains, and they have gains. How our solution helps them enable all of this is, firstly, it completes their functional jobs by scheduling and automating daily activities through smart technology. For example, an automated vacuum cleaning system, which is to be discussed later on. It also completes their social jobs through a smart security system and other features, including reminders for bill payments and a blog dedicated to recipes and tutorials. Furthermore, it provides emotional support through a video chatting software and, as mentioned, a blog to connect customers together through their aligned interests and situation. In terms of pain resolvers, firstly, the automated solution carries out all the jobs these customers want to get done, and hence provides an effective alternative to home care visits. Stage 2 of the product features an app which is used for more than just control of the Internet of Things technology, but also features video chatting softwares, blog, and extra activities to combat their loneliness. All parts of the solution, including the IoT technology, can be controlled from the app, which will be on a mobile device, making it extremely simple to operate and removing any educational barriers. The application will always ask for permission before using sensitive data. For example, it would ask for credit card details before making a shopping payment and would not save the details it requested, hence making a violation of privacy and trust extremely unlikely. In terms of added benefits, the solution allows the target audience to live at home with minimal external care required. It meets all the needs which current care home visits provide, and it provides an option for upfront payment or monthly installments, which works out to be cheaper than continuous care home visits in the long term. This is, however, dependent on what features you want. The more physiological needs you want to meet, the more costly the Internet of Things technology would be. Stage 3 provides opportunity to predict and prescribe medication by sitting at home, which makes medication monitoring much more effective. I'll now pass it on to Florence and Gurneet to talk about the financial plan, the business plan, and the MVP.
Thanks, Viraj. So here's a snapshot of our business plan. Let's dive right in and start with customer segments. With our solution, we are targeting elderly individuals aged 60 plus. In terms of our early adopters, it would be helpful to get feedback from a small group of 12 plus individuals from the target market who already receive at-home care and who require different levels of care intensity, so that we can establish which groups our app will work best for. Next, the problem. The home care market is in a precarious state. There is an increasing demand for care services because of an aging population, and the rapidly increasing unit cost of providing care services has led to a degradation of the quality of care. In fact, Age UK carried out a survey which found that 41% of people were dissatisfied with care services in 2017. The most pressing concerns were lack of consistency and continuity and difficulty accessing quality services. Our unique value proposition. Studies show that the majority of elderly people would prefer the comfort and familiarity of living in their own homes for as long as possible. Now, because of smart technology and the Internet of Things, this is a possibility for ever more people. The solution is our Agilisys app. As outlined earlier in the presentation, we'll use a combination of these following platforms for our marketing. Finally, the costs. Arguably, the biggest cost will be the development of the app. We will need a team of software developers to initially build the app and then be constantly improving it as we get feedback. There will also be quite a high initial cost, which takes into account the purchasing and installment of a home security system for each customer. Then there will be optional add-ons such as a robot vacuum cleaner and a smartwatch for a more premium package. Next slide, please. We carried out some research to decide how much to charge. Firstly, we had to find out the average weekly hours and cost of domiciliary care. We found a range of different data, as you can see. The main takeaways were that average weekly spend per adult on social care is £379, with at-home care visits costing around £18 an hour. In order to make a direct comparison with the pricing of our solution, we decided to use 2 one-hour visits per day, morning and evening, for example. This works out at £1,008 per month. This turns out to be a lot more expensive than our solution, as you can see. While there is a considerable upfront cost of £1,283, followed by a monthly subscription of £500, the payback time is only 3 months, after which customers will make monthly savings of roughly £508. This is compared with 2 one-hour visits per day, so depending on what level of care intensity the individual was needing before will determine how much better value it will be. I'll now pass you on to Gurneet, who will bring our presentation to a close.
So moving on to the minimal valuable product. So we decided to focus on 2 user stories. The first one being about Dan. So Dan is scared of isolation, but has no sustainable means of living with other people, family members included. And the second user story about Vera. After a recent stay in hospital, Vera received a social care needs assessment, which concluded that she needed care visits in the morning and evening. However, social services have said that they are unable to locate a care agency to provide them at the moment as they are at full capacity. So for our minimal viable product, stage 1 includes the Internet of Things technology, which features a smart security system to prevent burglars and relay real-time information in case of medical emergencies. A smartwatch to monitor any changes in heart rate and blood pressure using ECG and alerts medical services if there is any drastic change. These devices are both connected and controlled by an app, which primarily serves as a virtual personal assistant in the sense that it can schedule daily activities, set reminders for tasks and medication, and aid in ordering online, whether this be groceries or general shopping, by having voice-activated features to search for these desired items. Additionally, it's always asked to input card details should the user choose not to save them, keeping their privacy and trust intact. The app will have 3 main features to boost human interaction and social connectivity. So the first feature being video chatting software and virtual events to connect the elderly people and reduce loneliness without incurring costs associated with human presence, and the added benefit of building a loyal customer base. The second feature being blogs to connect people with aligned values, so they can share their political opinions, talk about a favourite hobby, sports, share recipes to make preparing food and cooking easier, and even contains tutorials, tips and tricks. And the last feature being activities and games of the older generation. So this includes chess, Scrabble and bingo to keep users engaged and entertained. And next slide.
Stage 3 features an added premium service, which can be provided on trial initially. Essentially, through collaboration with the company Vast Minds and medical specialists, we could better monitor, diagnose, and predict possible conditions and symptoms, and possibly relieve life-threatening issues early on. Vast Minds has developed an app which can extract physiological parameters in seconds using proprietary technology and works on any device embedded with a camera, so a mobile device. On the legal side, Agilisys doesn't need to provide a guarantee that they can predict or maintain conditions from the data available, but they can provide a guarantee of emergency checkups should any abnormal parameters be flagged by the system.
Stage 2 will remain the same. However, if the MVP has positive feedback and we choose to move along with the product, we will introduce add-on features focused more on the functional jobs and psychological needs of our customers. So this will include the automated vacuum cleaning services, Japanese smart tech in toilets to flush, wash and dry from control panels, and other smart tech to make life easier, but these are extra add-ons and so not necessarily essential. Next slide, please. So what went well? We all communicated effectively and worked well to our strengths, and this resulted in us being able to collaborate efficiently and deliver the best possible outcome. To improve, at first we tried to do all the tasks together, which slowed down the process, and we weren't able to utilise our full potential. So to improve, we should have clarified our interests and discussed our strengths and weaknesses, and then delegated the task accordingly. Also, we could have improved our time management skills and made more free time to discuss and plan the projects more in advance. A key skill that I had developed was teamworking skills and the ability to work within a group situation. Also, the ability to summarize important financial information, so the cost of the solution, and summarize this accurately and concisely in terms of a business plan.
During this task, I developed my commercial awareness, particularly how to think more strategically and uphold customer centricity. As such, I also got to improve my creative thinking skills when I was thinking of sample ads and unique ways to reach customers during their customer journey.
I would say that I most improved my research skills. It was quite difficult to find the specific data necessary to calculate the difference in costs between our solution and traditional care methods. I also really improved my teamwork skills. I now have a better idea of what I can bring to a team and which roles I work best in.
Personally, I feel that I have become much better at applying and connecting frameworks, as I have done with the SUE model, Clay Christensen's Jobs to be Done framework, and Dave Gray's empathy map. So thank you for listening. This was Team 3's presentation on Module 5.